What's up, everybody? This is Mico, the entrepreneur, and I am here with Zaya.
Yeah. Hey y'all, what's poppin'?
So, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Tubebuddy and Streamyard. Look, YouTubers, podcasters, gig tubers, content creators, you are going to need these two tools for your toolbox. Look, I know that you're going to stream, you're going to record, you're going to go live, you're going to do all these things on social media. So you might as well click on the links below, go under me, help me make some money. But all jokes aside, StreamYard is very user friendly, very easy to use. It's so many people use it. Yes, it's other streaming platforms out there, but I guarantee you're gonna love StreamYard. So if you do not have an account with StreamYard, you can start for free right now. Just click on the link below. And then also with TubeBuddy, look, you're gonna need help with your titles. You're gonna need help with your videos, being optimized in, YouTube or Facebook or whatever search engines. It's affordable. A lot of people use it. I use it. So you know what? Like I said, you're just getting started. You're gonna need those two things in your toolbox. So, like I said, click on the link in the description below. Go ahead and start under me for free, and then go ahead and get your packages. All right,
Oh, you ate
Saya.
that up. Ate that up. Do it for her. Do it for her, fam. Y'all got some coins from y'all tax returns, baby. Y'all better do it.
Right. So I know that I did some research about you, and I know you work in education. And me being an educator, we're going to talk about education tonight.
Yay! We're in class. Mm-hmm.
So I see that you are an admissions counselor, you're a recruiter, you recruit students to come to your school.
Yep.
Um, Tell my audience, how do you recruit students and how you get them to kind of like spend the next 4 to maybe 6 years at your school?
Yeah. Yeah. Six is real. We do have some people. I know some people in that circumstance. Um, each student, I like to say this about each student is different. Each student is their own individual. They're not just a number. I wish I could remember all the names, but realistically I can, because that'll be a lot of
Mhm.
names in my brain along with my personal life to remember. But really, getting them to do that application is the first step. And whatever numbers they have, from like the ACT, of course, to GPAs and all that, we do have different pathways that we do take. So really, it's based on that individual, and really throughout that step for all of my students in general, I really am there for them. Like I will be the one to give them encouragement. Like I would be the one to be like, oh my gosh, you have bad testing anxiety. I know they're taking the ACT. I will send them an email saying, okay, good luck, wishing you the best. You got this. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. So it stays like those small type of things like that. Of course, getting to come to some events, getting them to do a campus tour with their parents, all that good sorts. So that's how I go about it in general. But each student is their own individual. So that's the respectful way to look at it.
So, how many schools that you go to recruit, students?
Um, School
So you have like
numbers.
different areas.
Yeah, I have
You
different
have
areas.
like,
Yeah. So we go by zones in Louisiana,
okay,
but I could say the parishes. For my people in the south of Louisiana would know, but I'll explain the parishes. So in northern Louisiana, I have the Monroe area. So that's right by
mhm,
a little bit, right, like it's like 2 hours away from Arkansas, essentially. Then I have I'm from the Jefferson Parish, right by New Orleans area. So I have that area
okay.
as well. I have the Bayou parishes, so like all the alligators that y'all see. Yeah, I get to go by them frames. And I have that little area in New Orleans aspect really. So New Orleans alone, and it's like a lot of schools there. So really, numbers of schools kind of hard to pinpoint, but the areas are just like those are the main areas that I go to a lot for sure.
Okay. So, tell us a little bit how you, so say for instance, you
Hmm.
have a student that applied
Yes.
and they're like waiting to like see on the other end if they got accepted.
Mhm.
So, can you take us through the steps of how, um, when it's time to get accepted, how is that revealed to the student?
So it's revealed to the students, and I really like how it's revealed to them, honestly, because it's don't leave them wandering. We do send them because you have an application portal, of course, and they will
Mhm.
send you like an email saying, "Oh, admission decision update." That's typically like the email that you would click on. Then you will see confetti and say, "Congratulations, you've been accepted." Blah 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 blah. And it gives them it gives them that answer quicker. So by the time they get look in the
Mhm.
mail, like in the next 2 days, and get like the official paper, they already know. So it's not like they're literally like waiting and waiting. So it's like we try to get it to them fast for sure.
Oh,
And then as well,
okay.
we do like I know for sure. We do make certain calls, or like if a student asks questions, like they could ask about, like I hope students know this, they could ask for a status update about their application. So yeah, for sure. We try to get those decisions out fast, because we understand y'all about to graduate. Y'all need y'all pictures. Y'all need y'all moments. I get it, friends. I get it. I get it.
What are your school colors?
Green and gold. We are the Lions.
Ooh, okay. So do you have a trio program at your location?
Absolutely. So we do have a trio program. Fun fact about me, I was for people that don't know about my education background, of course. I was a part of trio since my sophomore year in high school, and now I'm a proud alumni. So it's a very cool program overall, especially for everybody. And I know you was in it for sure. It's
Mhm.
very much a program that is very needed within the communities, not only for students to
Yes.
just do college classes, but you really get to experience college before you even get to that point of thinking about it. Because sophomore year, I was not thinking about colleges. Now I was thinking about like serial and TV shows. Like Let's Keep It in Real, but
Right.
I wasn't thinking about college. So when I went to campus, like college campuses, and seeing how it's going to be, it made my search for a college that I desired more easier for me. And I feel like the transition in my GPA in college is better because I went through that program because I was already prepared for a college mindset.
Good, good. So as for your position, do you see yourself as a salesperson or do you see yourself as a um like a kind of like a business relation, try to build a relationship type of
Yeah, so
person
like,
versus trying to, you know, I
yeah,
guess
I get what you're
everyone
saying.
has a
So
bottom line,
yeah,
right? A quota, right?
yeah, I get it. I definitely understand like the quotas and all that talk because I came from a marketing background. For me,
Mhm.
I hate sales. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want nothing to do with sales. Don't stress me out about numbers. Don't stress me out about quotas. I don't want to do it. No way, Jose. Now let me help you and let me get like reap what I owe because I work so hard. So for
Mhm.
this position I feel like it's more like we're focused on the customers. We're not caring about the numbers. It's okay if you say, listen, I don't want to go to your university because you don't have this program for me and this
Mhm.
university do. Or hey, I really want to go out of state, it's my dream, so unfortunately it's okay. It's not like, oh my gosh, we're losing them. So I like the approach of that better than ideally doing sales because I did sales for 3 months and I hated it. I hated
Well,
it. Then
yeah, I'm not a salesperson.
I went to this position, so I was praying to God, saying, "Lord, please don't let them be about number." And they're not. And I was like, "Thank you, Jesus," because God, uh-uh, I can't do sales. I don't know how people do it at all,
Yeah,
especially
me
living off of
neither.
you living off of commissions. I can't. That's too stressful in this economy.
Yeah, I'll
Too
be
stressful.
homeless.
I'm too
I'll be
nice.
living in my car.
I'll be living with my mama, questioning my life decisions.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and that's one thing I don't like. I know when people are trying to sell me something because they're not
Mhm.
listening to me and they're all about, okay, because in their head, right, they got to eat. I get it.
Yeah.
But don't put that off on me. You took this
Yeah.
job. That
Hmm.
don't have anything to do with me. So I'm more of a relationship builder. Like
Me
I
too.
like
I'm
to
a
build
relationship builder too.
relationships. Yeah, over
Yeah.
time and like, have you to come back and then,
Um,
chat it up,
exactly.
so they say.
Yeah, because fun
But
fact about me as well, the reason why I say I'm more relationship based person is because while I
mhm,
was in my undergraduate degree, I was a resident assistant. So I was someone that would manage the floor, that would look after the kids, and they were freshmen. And the funny part is, I had to work a commencement, so I worked a December one, like this past
mhm.
December, and my first resident, literally graduated this past fall. And the parents like, oh my gosh, we need a picture
Wow.
with you. So it's like I'm more relationship building. So things like that. They invited me to the graduation party and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. But unfortunately, I can't make it. So I'm very much more relationship building. Like I'm just genuinely wanting to help you. I can't be evil for a number. I can't. Because then it's not it doesn't fulfill me.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I'm a number to you then. So then you're gonna cut me off if I don't, so I might as well cut
Right. I'd be like, well, can I get a sweatshirt? Yeah. I can get you a pencil. I don't want no pencil. I want a sweatshirt. So
For
y'all
real.
trying to tell me you don't have no budget? You don't have a budget for a sweatshirt? I can't get a hat. I can't get a sweatshirt. You gonna give me a
Girl,
pencil? That's your
that's a
budget?
yeah, no. We don't know.
That's me.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
So, um, so you've been in this position, give or take, like less than a year.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself, like in the future? Like, do you see yourself still in this position for a few years and then stepping off into maybe a dean position, or do you uh, see yourself being like a dean and then something after that?
Ooh, that's a good question because I did meet literally almost everybody in higher education from my university. So I mean, I got good people to look up at, and I know a lot of people
Okay.
on campus already before I had the position. So it's like because I was in the trio program, most of them do participate in those
Mhm.
programs. So it's like I know a lot of people. Um, the area, so I really want to stay in this position up till I finish my master's. I feel like it's just the best thing
Okay.
for me right now. And just like 2 years max, like 2 to 2.5 years. I feel like that's a good time because I don't want to rush it because I'm really enjoying the process of the
Mhm.
students. And also I don't want to leave like just like students hanging. Like that's just I can't do that. Like if someone was like, "Oh my gosh, we have this new position and it's everything," like you would want. I was like, I can't leave those kids
Mhm.
though because nobody won't understand their story like I would because I was the one that was building that relationship with them. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I really just want to do it for the students right now, and I mean, I'm satisfied. I'm living comfortable. I got my refrigerator, girl. So I mean, I'm not like I need to move up. I'm just like
Mhm.
enjoying the process. Now I'm working on my
Right.
master's in strategic communication. That's also let me just enjoy that process too. But I do see myself going in higher ed. I definitely do. I did get I thought I'd be in the business world, but I realized I'm too nice for the business world. That's just me. And I think I want to be one of those people that represent within higher education for the minority,
Mhm.
especially for the Black community, especially because my
Mhm.
family comes from an education background. So going to higher
Okay.
education, a lot of people it's like, you should be a dean of students. You really got the feel, you got the energy for it. You're relatable, you get along with everybody, regardless how they are. And I was like, yeah, for real though, true. So, looking into that realm, working with more students on campus is what I would really love to do in the future. So, like, dean of students, I can't see myself being, no, never say never because that's what we
Right.
learned. But I can't see myself genuinely being a university president. Now, if I'm a university president in the future, listen, bravo, okay?
I'm
Because
gonna
I
give you
was
your
president
flowers now.
for real, because I was president, and could my grandma make this argument? She's like, "Well, you was president for your high school for 4 years straight, and you was a first. And then I got a letter, and then I got like a medal from my city saying like, "Oh, Leader of Tomorrow award
Mhm.
recipient." And I was the first that got that award. So you never know with my life. You never know.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
So yeah.
Um, so like say for instance, if I wanted to attend your school
Yes.
and my grades, I know it's criteria, right?
Mhm.
For admissions.
Yeah.
Now, I play soccer and I'm very good at it, and I know I can get a full ride, but you know, in high school, you know, I'm a I'm this close, I just need help
Yeah.
academically. What would
Okay.
you tell me? I know that I can get a full ride scholarship
Mhm.
based on my talent and everything with
Mhm.
soccer, but I need help
Right.
academically to attend your school. What would you tell me?
So I would tell the student, first off, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for knowing that you got the capabilities to get this scholarship, and you got the capabilities sports wise. And I understand, and I'm so proud of you for even recognizing the academics is as important as the sport. Since you are very confident and you want to make sure you get into this university, I'm going to help you set up for the best opportunity of this source. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come up with a game plan. So let's go over your transcript. Let's go over your ACT scores, and let's just talk about what's going on and why this score is a bit lower. Are you feeling a bit more anxiety when you're taking this test? If so, let's see our different options that we have to offer through our university. If you're feeling that this class is a bit struggle for you, let's talk to your high school counselor and get her to understand, like, hey, you're feeling a bit more down because of this teacher or this classmate is putting you down in this source. Or if it's more like a at home trouble, I can't help you in that circumstance. However, I'm a voice for you to understand and just give you that reassurance that you can and you will succeed in life regardless what you do.
Okay, well, thank you. I
Mm,
appreciate it. Now I feel
you're
better
welcome.
about myself.
See, you
Well,
gotta
no.
tell students, and especially with this
Mhm,
generation that went through COVID, you gotta let them know that you're proud of them because they
mhm.
could easily just hit the
Yes,
deuces, get out of school. But you should be saying, like, I'm proud of you for looking into college. I'm proud of you. You're amazing. You got
right.
this. You
Yes.
chose this for a reason. Motivate the
Now,
youth.
don't get mad at me. Don't get mad
Oh,
at me. I'm gonna kind of flip the script. So I know I have it's other people I know, and we have different conversations about
yeah.
education. And
Mm-hmm.
I know for some people, they think that, education is a business,
Mm.
right? So,
Okay.
you have so many students in debt,
True.
especially when they leave, right? Once they graduate, they
Hmm.
really don't get um, a job in their major.
Right.
So, what would you tell a person that just graduated from high school?
Hmm.
Are you, I know you're an educator, take yourself out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, take yourself out of it. Would you tell that student to go to college, or if, and you know that they're not college material, because we have students like that.
Yeah, that's true. I encourage those type of students to take a gap year, take a gap semester, even figure out, like, there's so many things that you could do, especially with our generation. Like, you don't even have to be a social media influencer like everybody's trying to tell you. You could literally start making money from podcasting. You could do some. You could work, like, get your hustle up. Like, go work at auto parts. Like, if you know you want to go to engineering, but you not in the maturity level of, like, okay, let me wake up at 8 a.m. for this math class. Go work at auto parts, build that experience. Like, I feel like if you're not
Mhm.
ready for college, but you know college is in your future, that's fine. Build experience
Right.
and work. That's what I would tell myself. Even, like, yes, I was an academic person, but building experience will definitely pay off more once you try to get that job as well. But it has to be transferable skills. That's what I would say. Like, make money. You know?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you my little story.
Yeah.
So I graduated from high school. I
Okay.
went to Job Corps. So I'm in Chicago. I
Okay.
graduated from high school. I went to Job Corps in Cleveland, Ohio for 9 months.
Mm.
And then I came back to Chicago
Yeah.
for internship. And then I worked in an internship. I had to find me a job because that was part of the Job Corps program.
Yeah.
And then I worked at a company, and then I decided to go back to school at 27.
Mm.
So me graduating from high school, going to Job Corps, and then working for 5 years
Yeah.
because I thought I wanted to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Because at the job that I was at, I was actually, I was an accounting assistant.
Okay.
But then I love math, right?
Right.
But so I end up graduating with a BA in psychology for my bachelor's. But
Mhm.
it did, I think, and I'm not thinking as an educator.
Yeah.
If I had to do it all over again, I probably would have went to college right after high school
Yeah.
to get it over with. But
Mm.
then because I went later in life, I
Mhm.
went later like at 27, I
Yeah.
came in with real world experience.
That's right.
So I think everyone is different.
Yeah.
When I see certain teenagers, and me being a substitute teacher as well, which students there, and I'm sorry, and I'm not being
It,
cruel, I'm not being mean.
it's not being
You
cruel.
know which
Yeah.
students are not college material. They're
Y-
more technical school.
Yeah. Now, one thing I would say about that, because for my background, I kind of got more of okay, so for me in high school, I was the kid that had like the 3.8, 4.0 GPA. I was the student body president. I was on track team. Oh,
Mhm.
district runner. Okay, doing all this. But when it came to that standardized test, I was scoring like 18, 17. So when it came down to like ACT, it was like top tech saying like, oh, you should go to more engineering. And I knew for sure I'm not going to take engineering just because I got money for it. So I feel like certain
Right.
students, I never want to tell them that, like, I don't think you're, like, I don't think you're made for my university. Like, that's not my place to do it. Like, you could
Mhm.
take some credits. Like, if it's more like a student is understanding, like, hey, I can't do it, most of the time they would say that now, which I'm like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
They're more outspoken now. Now, thank you, Gen Z. Um, but if it's a student that it's like they're trying to push it, I always
Mhm.
tell them, remember, you're doing this for you. You don't have to do this for
Right.
anybody else. It's okay. Your family's gonna love you still. So it's like I still give them that reassurance. So when they make that decision, whatever it is, it's gonna be okay for them. And they like, okay, well, he let me know where if I want to go back in, and that's fine. Come back. I have friends that came back later. Now, see me, I
Mhm.
was different. I wanted to start right away because I wanted to get out of home because I thought it'd be faster and I'm gonna be
Mhm.
grown and I'm gonna do this. I got burnt out by fall semester. I took 9 credit hours,
Wow.
and I kid you not, I graduated high school in May, went into college
Mhm.
at the end of May, took 3 classes during the summer, then didn't have no summer break because I was like, no, because then you had to get ready for the fall semester. And when the fall semester happened, I was burnt out halfway through. And I was going through relationship problems. I was trying to figure out what friend group I'm with. I'm trying to figure out my major. I was trying to figure out everything all over again. And then
Mhm.
COVID happened. And then when COVID
Oh,
happened,
wow.
it was my freshman year. So then it was like, I'm forced to take a break. I'm forced to sit out. I'm forced to do nothing. And all I
Mhm.
had time to do was change my major. So that's when I kept changing my major over and over. And I was just so lost at that point because it was like, I don't know what college is going to look like now because it's a pandemic.
Mhm.
We don't know what it's going to look like.
Right.
So when I went back and I became a resident assistant, I was more confident. 'Cause I felt like I was more in a humble position because before I was not humble.
Mhm.
I was more about me, 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 me. After that pandemic and seeing students like struggle with classes, and I was tutoring,
Mhm.
but that kind of changed my heart for the better. Not saying I was an evil person before, but it kind of made me just more sympathetic. Like I had more empathy because I was a student where I was in 504 classes. So
Mhm.
I have more empathy when people's like, "Hey, I'm struggling in this class. Can someone tutor me?" Because it's online. And I'm like, "Yeah, I got you, friend."
Right.
Like, yes, I know it's a pandemic, but we could FaceTime each other and we could talk about the material. So after that type of experience, it's like now when students be like, "Oh, I'm gonna rush it," I'm like, "Don't rush it, girl. Don't rush it. No, take that summer, friend, because you're never gonna get a summer again.
Mhm.
I
No,
don't
I
care.
agree.
You will never get another summer, and I wish I had my summer.
Well, I know a lot of I see a lot of students, older and younger students in
Yeah.
college right now, and they're so
Hmm.
stressed out because they're going to school because their parents went to school. You
Hmm.
know, it's in their
Family.
genes,
Gene.
DNA, so to speak, to, oh no, you're going to be a lawyer. Oh no, you're going to be a doctor, or you're going to be this. And it's like the
Friend.
student, I mean, they're so spaced out and stressed out. They're so worried, and like suicide rate is up
For real.
because they, they're afraid to like say
Yeah.
no, especially when, you know, if mom and dad paying for your apartment
Hmm.
and everything else, and it's like, you
You
know,
got it.
they're out, they're not even, they're in class, but their mind is not even there. They're
Yeah.
drawing, they're doing other
Yeah.
stuff because they don't want to be there.
Yeah. And my thing is, especially when it comes to this, because I know me and my family, we had similar situations. Because for me, I was a child, like from my background, I had brain surgery and heart surgery. So I was developing at a slower pace. So when I went into primary school, like elementary, it was like, okay, you have to go to speech therapy. My grandma was my teacher. So I was learning all the time. So as I got older, I was more as a weird kid because I was so quiet. I never really had friends
Mm.
back then. My friends in high school probably say something else. But in middle school, I was a weird kid. I would read my Harry Potter books to myself. I would draw the United States over and over
Oh, you're a
again.
Harry Potter fan.
Yes. Yes, I'm a Disney fan too. I was also into old vintage cartoons. I still am. Popeye the Sailor Man, Tom and Jerry, the Pink Panther, things like that. Like kids were not thinking about that. So I was always
So
to
you
myself.
have the cart so you have the
Uh-huh.
Cartoon Network app on your phone.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I was that kid that was always weird, basically, essentially, and I always knew, I always felt like I had to prove myself in education because it was like, oh, you were known as a 504 kid, and you're not smart enough, especially because I went to a private school for 1 year, and that kind of did it for me. And being the only black guy in that class, I was like, now I need to prove myself. Now I need to do this. My grandpa's my inspiration. He did this, he did that, he did that. So I'm going to do more and more. But it came out of a place of my own because I had to push myself and make myself realize like, okay, you're more than enough in the brain wise. So I got into honors because I told my mom, I was like, I'm testing out. I mean, it stressed me out, but I'm testing out. So I came from more of a like I know what I want to do. So I'm going to figure it out on my
Mm,
way. My sister, she was a
okay.
genius. She had a high IQ. However, she wanted to take a break. My mom's like, no, you have a high IQ. You say you want to go and travel and teach. No, I'm going to make you go to college. So now she's in college, but she's struggling because she don't want to be there. She wanted a break. So it's kind of like you got two different kids, like two different types of kids. Like you have type A, like it's me, or type B, which is my sister. So I keep in contact with her. I tell her all the time, like, listen, girl, if you want a break, just tell me. Like you just do it. But she's on scholarships, so it's like, why not take them? But she's doing fine. She's doing fine grade wise. It's just like,
Yeah.
I like her face is just like going through the motions. Just like get it done, go home and sleep. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that.
So have you heard of the Pod Fest?
Absolutely. I heard about it at some point, which is even more like this is gonna be more funny. I heard about it and I was like, that's probably not even real because girl, I don't see anybody I know, and I saw Erica there. I said, okay, she's there. Okay, so it's real. So yeah, I heard. Now I heard about it for real, for real. Was you there?
Yeah, so it was here in Orlando, and I heard about it on Facebook because I moved to Orlando 2008 to 2016, and I left, but then I came back like last
Yeah.
year. But it said the 10th anniversary, and I'm like, I've never seen this. So I'm trying to calculate in my head, like, what? Well, it started out, it's based out in Tampa. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, so they started out in Tampa for a couple of years or
Okay.
whatever. And then they've been going back and forth. from
Mm.
Orlando to Tampa. So the last few years it's been in Orlando. And so
Oh,
next year, yeah, next year it's going to be in Orlando. So they already have the
oh,
dates for next year. I think you
okay.
should come. I
Oh,
think you
absolutely,
should,
darling.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
volunteer so you can get in free.
Oh,
So I had
volunteer.
a free
Oh, say
ticket.
less. Oh, girl, I will volunteer in a heartbeat. You know, I came from a housing background, baby, so I'm used to volunteering.
Yes,
Baby, I
that's what
will
I said.
volunteer, put the chairs up
Yeah,
for
that's what
you
I'm
or
gonna do.
something. You know.
So, but yeah, that would be good because that's how I met Erica as well. So I had met Erica there at the
Hmm.
Pod Fest. I know a lot of people, so
Yeah, she's a
it's gonna be
sweet
a lot
person.
of
I love her. I love
it's gonna be
Erica.
a lot of interviews coming out with other people from there. But for next year, I would love to see all three of us there
Oh
together,
yes.
like either volunteering, because
Oh
yeah.
yes.
And then
Yeah.
you could be a speaker too. They're already looking for speakers for next year, but I don't want to do it next year. I want to wait. I
No,
want to
I
give
feel
myself
like
another year.
yeah, I feel like as sweet as that could be, let me just go there, see the vibes, let me chat,
Mhm.
let me be low key. Then the next year I might feel like, okay, let me step my cookies up. Let me get on that stage.
Right. Yes. Yes. So, um, I know that your show will be ending soon,
Wow, wow.
and and you have a radio voice. I told you that. So, where are you taking so are you going to do step into another podcast type of show, or are you going to increase your YouTube subscribers so you can be more on that? Tell the audience what are you going to do with both of those.
So honestly, when I created the Zaya Show, a lot of people that just got caught on for season 5 through season 7, they wasn't there in the beginning where it was more like I did it just because of COVID was here and I couldn't perform, so let me just make a podcast. So it
Mhm.
was really like something that truly documented my college journey throughout. So if you go
Okay.
all the way back to season 1, you would hear about 19-year-old me with pierced ears talk about how boys did me wrong to now where you hear season 6, it's like, oh wow, he's graduated and he's happy and fulfilled. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like a personal journal, which I love. And I'm just in a different place in my life because I created a podcast when I was 19. I'm now 23.
Okay.
So I'm in a different mindset already. And
Mhm.
I love what the podcast did. And I just feel like for right now, it's better off just to close it at season 7, where I give you like an update,
Okay.
like, okay, I'm doing fine. Got my apartment, got my man, living happily ever after. Shut it down. Um, and so after that podcast is over, I really want to rebrand myself because I am in education. So,
Okay.
branding is everything. So I just want to make sure my branding is a bit more tasteful in both lanes. Not saying like, oh, I'm not going to be myself, but I'm going to be myself, but
Mhm.
it's going to be more like a modern thing. Because right now, fun fact, I don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup a lot. I don't have blonde hair no more. So it's like a lot of things has changed
Okay.
about me for when people know about me.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I have to rebrand
Mhm.
it now to where it's more modern for the audience to know me. So I am starting a new podcast called Nostalgic Narratives, and it's going to be more focused about taking back the narratives of media that is being said about people. So we could definitely talk about the Black community for sure, because that's one area I would love to talk about on a
Okay.
podcast. Like the stereotype Black woman, stereotype Black man. Like we're going to dissect that
Mhm.
and taking back our power and letting the public know, like, okay, this is what we feel, this is how we are, and also talking about that with different people in different communities and even different passion projects, like an author saying, okay, I know I bother you about an ebook, but this is why I wrote that ebook. So it's more about
Right.
figuring out why we do what we do, but taking back the narrative from people perceptions of us, and we get to say our truth. So I want to create that type of podcast. It's gonna be like a night one where it's like we'll have our tea or wine, and we're gonna be pajamas, so it's gonna be comfortable. Um, and as well, I'm working on the rebrand, of course, but as well on YouTube, I'm going to be releasing some cool stuff, visuals, not only just like of the episodes, but also just things in general because I'm very creative. So I'm working on a
Mhm.
documentary right now. It's going to be 20 minutes long. And it's about like making that new journey. So it's going to be like an introduction
Okay.
of the new Zaya. So that's the exciting part. So definitely stay attuned. Hmm. I don't
So
think
I'm gonna
people
have
are
to
ready
do a
for
part two. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I don't think people are ready for it because I showed my boyfriend, because you know my boyfriend, like
Okay.
I mean, he's right here, so he can see everything. And he looked over my shoulder and he said, "That's the new content." And I was like, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I like that. I like that." And he would tell me when he ate something. So when I saw his face, I was like, "Oh, I ate that up." He's like, "Yeah, you ate that up, babe." I was like, "Okay, bet. I'm gonna do it some more." But it's tasteful and it's very different from content that you
Mhm.
would see in general. And as well, I'm working with the film crew, so it's
Okay.
it's a little coin that's going into it, darling. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, let me schedule my date for part two of this because I got to get the exclusive. I got to get the
Yes,
exclusive.
yeah. Give me a few months, and then I'll have some more juice for you.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. I know that your information is on the bottom ticker and it's scrolling across, but close us out with, where they can follow you on social media and, if they wanted to know more about being a student at your location,
Okay, cool, sweet pea.
how they can get in
So
touch with you.
absolutely. So Instagram is the_Zaya_show. Yes, still follow that account because I still keep everybody updated on that account as well. You could DM me any questions that you have. As well, YouTube at the Zaya Show. If you want to see some videos of the Zaya Show episodes, that's a cool space. But also that's where I'm gonna be posting all the new content. As well, if you're on Twitter, I like to call it Twitter instead of X. It's at Zaya Show. And then finally, if you're a career girly, you need to get on LinkedIn. I don't know why people are not on LinkedIn if they're talking about making their career better. Like that is the epitome of LinkedIn. So let's help each other build each other up in LinkedIn. So Isaiah Smith, it's ISAIAH like the Bible. Okay, and it's Smith. Will Smith is not my daddy. I wish he was for the money. However, go through all those links and, and just hit me up.
You
I
know
used to
what?
think
You
Will
are
Smith was my
hilarious.
father. No, I mean, so for real, I thought Will Smith was my father at some point. Cause I said, "Ooh, I got like the Fresh Prince Bel-Air haircut. That's gotta be my dad." Jaden, Jaden Willow, we siblings now.
Ah, oh boy, you are hilarious. I love it. Well, thank you guys. Look, go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel. We want to grow his channel. Um, and I'm not sure if you want to be monetized or not on YouTube, but
Oh,
go ahead.
absolutely. Who don't want to be monetized?
His link is in the description. All his information, his bio is going to be in the description below.
Mhm.
So make sure you check that out. Also, make sure you click on those links about Tubebuddy and Streamyard because I
Yeah,
could really
that
use
part
your
too.
help.
Yeah, you should do that too as well. And I just want to say before we wrap it up, I just love this
Mhm.
interview. Thank you so much. It was so much fun talking about
Yes.
education. 'Cause I know you said it was gonna be a little different, and I was like, okay, a little different is good. But
Mhm.
I really love like the topic of education. So I feel like a lot of people don't talk to me about that. Because it's like they're not in that space, so they
Yeah.
don't want to just touch on it. But you be in the space
Mhm.
and we understanding each other mindset and those, like I really enjoyed the conversation. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I need my part two. So when you come out with
Okay,
your,
per.
with other things, hit
Mm-hmm.
me up.
Will do. Oh,
All right.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you guys. And I'll see you in the next interview.